What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. First things first, thank y'all for bearing with me. I took a week off. You know I was coming back from homecoming and recovering, so I had to take a break, y'all. I needed a mental health break, and just to be all, fully transparent, your girl was worn out. Okay, I was drinking hard liquor. I had a lot going on. But thanks so much for bearing with me and continuing to listen to some of the old episodes, like, share, subscribe, and do all of the things with the podcast. Thanks again. You've been faithful supporters of Black News, and I really appreciate it. Same old. Check my website for shows updates. I also post them on social media. I don't have many coming up. I got a few, but I will be keeping you all posted with any happenings when it comes to entertainment and where to find me. But with all that said, y'all, we just gonna get right into it. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I am going to homecoming every year. I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if I can pull it off. Getting from the West Coast to the East Coast or to the South, it is a full-on endeavor. I'm talking about your girl had to go through hell and high water, layovers in random places, sitting in the airport, podunk, wherever. But I want to go to homecoming every single year. I had a blast. Let me tell y'all, I always talk about going to an HBCU. Went to Hampton University. Shout out to the Pirates. Y'all saw us go viral on social media because Brent, who used to be one of the dancers on Ebony Fire, the Hampton University Marching Force dance team, was showing out during alumni band at the homecoming game. You saw it. Y'all see it. Y'all knew I was going back. I've been talking about this for quite some time. I prepared, got me some outfits, washed my hair. I put a little extra gel in and make sure it was super tight for the homecoming. I bought plane tickets, hotels. Me and my line sisters, we had reunion jackets, our 20th anniversary jacket, because we did turn 20 years old in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We were initiated in the Gamma Iota chapter on the campus of Hampton University. Okay. We had all of the things, scholarships, gave away $20,000 in scholarships to much deserving students and faculty. We had all of these activities planned. I've been talking about this. I did all of the things, and it was a blast. Oh, homecoming, for people who don't really understand, it feel like a warm hug. Sometimes you got that auntie or that cousin or somebody who, when they give you a hug, it just feel like everything is okay. That's what homecoming feels like. You're seeing all of the people that you went to school with, haven't seen in years. Some people you haven't seen since you graduated. You seeing people that you talk to every day on social media. You see people who you didn't really know, but they're kind of familiar. You say, what's up? People you were organizations with, your close friends, people you've bonded with. It's just everybody comes back. People bring family and friends. And I'm talking about alumni and associates from dating back to back in the day. You got people's great grandparents coming to homecoming at the tailgates. It's just an all around good time. Another way to not to describe it, but this is the homecoming vibe. We were at a tailgate plot, and there was this older gentleman. He had to be maybe in his 70s, somewhere in his 70s. Set up his tailgate plot, had a fish fry going. Somehow he saw us and was like, y'all want some fried fish? We don't know that, brother. We do not know Pop. But Pop wanted to share the fried fish with your girl and us. And when I tell y'all that fried fish was slapping, that fried fish was so good. It was delicious. That's homecoming at HBCU. Getting fried fish and love, nourishment, spiritually and physically, from Black people. And I think I really am latching on to homecoming because as I get older, I've always been in black spaces. I grew up in Flint. Flint was it felt like an all black city, but it was pretty mixed. But it just felt black because it was a city like Flint, if y'all know what I mean. It's kind of like when you think of Detroit, you think of black. That's how you think of Flint. That's how you think of it. My classmates, my school was very diverse, actually mixed, different types of people, different backgrounds, but it was Flint. Then I went to an HBCU. Hey, we black. I moved on to live in DC. I lived in New York. I've always found myself in black surroundings or with black people. I got to LA. Hey, LA is huge and it's hard to find the blacks. Not to say that you only got to hang out with black people, but y'all know what I mean. It's a feeling that you get from being around people who look like you, relate to you, and share experiences. So I've been missing that, especially as I get older. I've been missing being in predominantly black spaces with like-minded individuals. So going back to homecoming, that's kind of why I'm really like attaching myself to it. And on top of that, I had just had a good time. I was drinking hard liquor. Okay, you know I really be drinking hard liquor. I give me a little wine in, okay? Give me a little red wine, a little Pinot Noir, okay? A little Cabernet, a little Merlot, whatever. Little Petite Syrah. I do all of those. I only drink hard liquor on special occasions, but hey, when you in a place like Hampton, Virginia, and I'm coming from big cities, don't get twisted. I lived in New York and LA, so a top shelf cocktail is gonna run you about $24. Y'all, drinks in Hampton was $6. Some places was trying to get you maybe 15, but a couple establishments you can get top shelf liquor cocktail for $6. Give me 7 of them. I had to. They was on sale. You can't turn down no good deal. Who am I to turn down a deal? I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna save me some money, even when I'm having a good time. So it was just all of the things. I posted a quick recap video on my Instagram. I made a reel and I was posting in my story. So if you were following me in real time, you kind of got to see it. But we had a time last night. It wasn't last night. It was a couple weeks ago, but we had a time. Did y'all go to homecoming? Because I asked y'all, I told y'all to get ready. It's homecoming season. And I know a lot of the Black News listeners went to HBCUs, different ones. Some went to PWI. If you went to a PWI, went to homecoming, how was it? How was the Black network situation tailgate? Because y'all be having those too. What was it like? Did you have a good time? Did you congregate? And was it the warm hug that you needed, wanted, and expected? Hit me up. Let me know your homecoming experience. You can tag me and let me know at Canelia on all social media. There were so many random things happening in regards to social media, all around the same theme. I'm not going to split these up into separate topics. I'm just going to dump them all into one because that's what they all are, a straight dumpster fire that needs to be all in one. First, I saw somebody that tweeted that Kyrie Irving is the Kanye West of the NBA. Hey, facts. I feel like whenever we hear Kyrie's name, it is no longer about basketball. Do the brother even hoop anymore? Do he hoop? Every time we talk about Kyrie Irving or hear about him, it's something outside of the sport that he is extremely good at because Kyrie be hooping when he be hooping. If you remember back a few years ago when we were in the coronavirus pandemic, Kyrie Irving was one of the people who refused to get the vaccine. Now, wherever you stand on it, that's where you stand on it. But his approach to it, it did seem very militant at the time. And it was a distraction from his basketball ability. And all of the conversation shifted around that. He is very outspoken about his beliefs and thoughts. When he does interviews, I mean, he be sounding kind of hotep-y. I mean, he might be a hotep. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just, And recently, he has been getting called out and blasted because he shared a video on social media that I think was anti-Semitic. I did not watch the video. I do not know the context. If it got some kind of hate or some trifling in it, I ain't gonna click on it. I'm not in that space in my life. But he has been under fire, arguing with reporters after the game, a bunch of stuff that has been apparently following him and in his entire being for the last couple of years. So throwing that out first, do your research. And if y'all got some information that I need to know, just send me the articles, because there's so much. I just don't have the capacity to really dig in. With that, also adding, Elon Musk is now the head of Twitter. Now I know he ain't black. That ain't necessarily black news, but once that was announced and that officially went into place, apparently the use of the N-word increased by 500% on the app as soon as he took over. Now, I'm adding that the CEO and the CFO is gone, so it's just him at the top. Now, Twitter is a wild place. Remember back in the day, it was Twitter. It was before we really had Instagram, like really had it. There was no TikTok, no Snapchat. Back in like 08, 09, Twitter was the shit. Like, you had to be on Twitter. That was when trending topics would happen. Something would go off in Black Twitter. That's when Black Twitter really gained its name. It was just a special place. Over time, it turned into all politics. It turned into just some craziness. Hell, now it seemed like a porn site. Because if somebody got some news or something leaked and you don't know where to find them, just go on Twitter. Ain't no restrictions. It's a porn site. So that was already in place. It was already heavy politics. Trump got on there and it was the misinformation go-to hub. That and Facebook, because when y'all know it was getting all the aunties, uncles, grandmas, and grandpops with that misinformation on Facebook. You want to know where to find something that ain't true? Look on Facebook. But that was also the case for Twitter. But as soon as Elon took over, I guess all the biggest was like, oh, we can say the N-word more than once because they've been saying it. Let's not act like this wasn't happening on Twitter. It's just the fact that now I guess they're saying it more. So bringing that to y'all as another thing to pay attention to. If you are still on that site, I'm on there every now and then, and you have seen an uptick. Apparently that is why. It sounds like Elon is trying to disregard any restrictions. They also are going to come up with an advisory council to review anybody who was banned. So your boy Donald might be coming back, or old Red Hat might be back in the building. And Elon said that they're going to start charging per month for verified check marks. But no, okay, ain't nobody paying for that. And if you pay for that, you will square. So that was another point that was, to add to this mishmash of topics. And the last one that I want to kind of loop in, I be seeing a lot of President Obama slander, and I don't understand why. I do not understand why. People be like, he ain't do nothing for black people, and he was a just all of these things. And I be looking at politics a little differently. But whenever people say that and I ask them, one, what is it that y'all wanted him to do that he didn't do? People can't answer. I understand people having complaints because presidents, that's a figure. It's just a figure. The real power is in other offices. We know how the United States government works. We have a Senate, we have Congress, we got the Supreme Court, we have local elections, and different things affects government in different ways. But I just don't like the Obama slander. And maybe because I didn't have many expectations of the office anyway. But I think I'm gonna do some digging and really get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna really get to the bottom of it because I want to know what it is. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm open to ideas and people's thoughts around it, but I don't know. I just got an affinity for and a love for the Obama family, and you ain't gonna be disrespecting President Obama. I just don't like it. And that sparked because He recently, a video of him, he's on the campaign trail helping out some Democratic candidates during this midterm election cycle. And he was in Detroit because, Detroit gone Detroit. Okay. He was on stage talking about how he's getting old and gray. And some lady in the audience was like, yo, now you finer than Emma Effer. And he had a cute moment where he was like, okay, you think she said I was fine. Okay. And after that, then here come he ain't do nothing for black people. The hooing and hollering. So it was on my spirit, and I just wanted to bring that to Black News to highlight and to pinpoint it, to say, I'm going to do some research and digging, and I'm going to let y'all know what I found. In regards to these topics, though, and any others, let me know your thoughts about it. Hit me up on social media if you have any ideas or want to chat. So this morning, it was a normal day on my end. Wake up, I do my routine, shower and devotionals and positive affirmations, tea, breakfast. But for some reason, it took me a while to log into social media. And I'm not, there's a point maybe that can help some of you all to manage my mental health and to get my mind right for the day. I do not check social media until it's time for me to actually start working, log in, and do that. A lot of people check their phones first thing in the morning, see text messages, all of that. I don't check my text messages thoroughly. I'll do a quick skim to make sure there's no emergencies in my phone. I don't look at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, none of the social channels. I don't do that. And if people call me, I don't take calls before a certain time. I also will read and get updates on news. I will do that. So I'll read a New York Times summary of what's going on for the day, most recent happenings. I'll check that. But I stay pretty much off the grid until it's really time to log in. It has helped me tremendously. I highly recommend it. I recommend not starting your day off on social media. It does something to you. But with that in mind, it took me a little longer to get in and log on. I had some emails to send off, just a bunch of stuff. But when I finally checked it this morning, and I say this morning because this is the day that I'm recording this podcast, I immediately saw that Takeoff, a member of the Migos, was killed in Houston. Immediately, first thing I saw when I opened up the app was that Takeoff was dead. I could not and cannot believe it. I can believe it in the sense that over this past 2 years, people have been dying and losing their lives. Friends of mine, associates, mentors, as well as people I don't know, entertainers, rappers have consistently been losing their lives to gun violence. But I didn't expect this one. I did not expect to see that Takeoff was shot. He, and everybody is saying this, and I don't like saying this because some people aren't necessarily problematic. Let me just say it, and y'all probably get what I'm talking about. People have been like, he was the least problematic member of the group. So that's why it was also unexpected. But even if you are problematic, and I'm going to do air quotes, that don't mean you're supposed to lose your life. Even if you got a loud mouth, or you out there and you on the shade room or whatever you're doing, that does not mean or justify that you should be the one that is most likely to lose your life. But that brother died. I believe he was 28 years old. There was a dice game in Houston. Him and Quavo were there. Something happened. Shots were fired. He was hit. People were standing around filming and recording because we are in 2022 and motherfuckers don't help. They just record. They turn the camera on. They caught the whole thing after the fact, apparently. And I do not watch Trauma anymore. Quavo was in shambles, trying to pick him up and help him. It was just a bad scene. They think they said TMZ caught it, or people was posting it. Why you would do that? That's you a weirdo. Why would you post someone dying on your timeline? That within itself is a whole That's a crime. That's a crime. But I'm going to put that to the side. What are we going to do? Because Takeoff was a brother. That's Quavo's nephew. He was a friend. I don't know if he had children yet. He was somebody's son, grandson, associate, colleague. People were depending on him, I'm sure, for their livelihood. And that brother lost his life. Somebody shot him while they were playing a dice game. What could be that? What can make you that upset and that angry that you take someone else's life? What is happening to the point where you throwing your life away? Because when you kill somebody, you throwing your life away because you're going to be in prison for somebody else. You were that upset that now your life is gone? I just don't understand it. And there has to be some resolution. People were on social media talking about it's rap music's fault, and we glamorize violence and drug use and all of these things, which is true. But we still need a solution, because what we can't keep doing is having our young men and women being murdered for no reason. And we have now been dealing with this in hip hop since Tupac and Biggie. What are we going to do? I don't necessarily have the answers. People have been posting suggestions and ideas. I know Lakeith Stansfield got on social media talking about we need to turn rap music off because it's doing all of these things to us. And I hear him. I kind of agree. But in real time, we need some action. What are we going to do? This is a tragedy. It is sad. It is upsetting, angering. Prayers for everybody who he is close to, because this ain't something you prepare for. This is not something you prepare for. But we do need to start a discussion. We do need to start having it. With that said, what are your thoughts? Rest in peace, Takeoff. But what y'all think about it? What's the next step? Feel free to hit me up and share at Cornelia. Let's get into honorable mention. Rihanna dropped a new song, y'all. What? Girl, what? And I'm not saying we, including me, I'm talking about y'all, not the Black News listeners, but them other people. Y'all been demanding new music from Rihanna for the last 4 years. I understand. She done moved on. Making music and dropping albums, that's a hobby at this point. That sis is a billionaire. Okay, sis a billionaire. She got Fenty everything. Fenty down, Fenty clothes, Fenty lingerie, Fenty sports about to drop. She got Fenty makeup. Getting in the studio is probably a nuisance. And also, side note, we still don't know the name of her new baby. We don't know that baby name. We have not found out that child's name. It's not our business, but just adding, that's how much Rihanna doing her own thing. Okay. But in honor of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, they done got Riri back into the stew. New song called Lift Me Up. It's a ballad. It is dedicated to Chadwick Boseman, the late great Chadwick Boseman, written by Tim's. It is a part of the celebration of life that it sounds like this movie really takes on, in addition to it being overall a good film. I have heard great reviews, but she did get into the studio and record this in honor of that and the movie. And based on her Super Bowl performance and the rumors that she is going on tour next year, she probably gonna come out with the rest of the new music. So are y'all happy and satisfied? I'm happy, but I ain't pressuring our good sis, because life goes on and we got to live it. And she out here getting to that coin. But what did y'all think of the song? I thought it was nice. It was really sweet. I know hearing it without seeing the movie, it kind of puts it out of context, but I got a feeling I'm going to be crying when it come on. So it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts about it. Did you listen? Were you happy with it? Are you excited about the new Rihanna era that is coming in 2023? Let me know. Hit me up with your thoughts. All right, to recap this week's episode, I gave a homecoming recap. You had to be there, player. You wasn't there, you missing out. And if you ain't there and you missed out, you need to be there next year, because that's where we're going to be from here on out. Next, we talked about a mishmash of Kyrie Urban, the N-word increasing on Twitter by 500%, and President Obama slander. We also discussed the now late, great Takeoff, who was a member of the Migos that was gunned down, murdered in Houston this week. Rest in peace to him. Prayers to his family and friends and anybody that has been affected by that loss. Let me know what you thought about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll see you guys back here same time next week. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.